It's a new week, which means it's time for a new Monday Musing with Left of Lansing's Pat Johnston. Muse away, Pat.
Here's the Monday Musing for August 24th of 2026. MAGA Michigan, AIPAC, and DTE Republican Senate candidate Florida Mike Rogers is scared that the pro-genocide, pro-war, pro-MAGA, and pro-Israeli corruption political action committee known as AIPAC will end up harming his campaign more than helping it. If you recall, AIPAC shoveled $32 million into Michigan's Democratic Senate primary race to defeat the progressive Dr. Abdul El-Sayed. If you also recall, AIPAC didn't put its name on any of its anti-Abdul ads. Instead, it used its super PAC named United Democracy Project as the face of AIPAC's anti-Abdul ads. Of course, spending all that money turned out to be a waste for AIPAC as Dr. Abdul won the Democratic primary race. Now, one reason why so many progressive Democratic voters and independent voters were outraged at the millions of dollars AIPAC was spending in the Democratic Senate race in Michigan is because we knew how quickly AIPAC would turn its attention towards backing the Trump regime ally and MAGA Republican nominee Florida Mike Rogers. And AIPAC didn't disappoint, announcing it would back Florida Mike by flooding Michigan's airwaves with millions of dollars in more anti-Abdul lies and misinformation. As a brief aside here for a second, I'm wondering why almost every single question to Florida Mike Rogers up to this point hasn't been why he thinks he needs AIPAC money to help his campaign, or also, why is AIPAC so concerned about Michigan's Senate race? AIPAC is, again, a pro-genocide and pro-apartheid political action committee, which is using its loads of cash to back candidates who will continue to vote in favor of the corrupt and criminal Bibi Netanyahu regime, a regime that's working with or forcing the Trump regime to engage in a costly war on Iran that's already carrying a price tag of over $100 billion. And you know, I hear complaints by some pro-corrupt Israeli backers that Dr. Abdul must stop attacking or highlighting AIPAC's spending on this Senate race. Well, I think the bigger point is, why the hell is AIPAC spending tens of millions of dollars on this Michigan race? It's certainly not because AIPAC cares one bit of dear leader Trump's hefty and insane tariffs on Canada, which directly affects those of us here in the working class in Michigan. No, AIPAC wants people in power and government to give more and more and more of our money to Israel and to Israel's costly and devastating wars. Recall, Bibi Netanyahu was a major backer and pusher for the Iraq war, which cost us a couple of trillions of dollars, not to mention thousands of lives lost in that quagmire. It's no wonder why a recent Fox News poll showed 55% of Michiganders oppose continued aid to Israel. 55%. So it's just not progressive Democrats. Seems like there are a lot of independents as well in that number, not to mention probably some Republicans as well. And now you understand why MAGA Republicans and worse, corporate establishment Democrats are urging Dr. Abdul El-Sayed to quit mentioning AIPAC. Because you see, we, the working class, know exactly what's happening, and to paraphrase Tupac, we understand the way the game's told. That's why over the weekend, Axios is now reporting that Florida Mike Rogers and his team are essentially begging AIPAC to stay away from the race. Rogers apparently met with AIPAC's chair last week, and then suddenly, according to Axios, AIPAC shelved an already cut video ad targeting Rogers' Democratic rival and outspoken Israeli critic Abdul El-Sayed. You see, everyone, this shows how even such a political weasel like Florida Mike Rogers, who is the epitome of our broken and corrupt political system, even he's afraid of how AIPAC could hurt his race beyond repair, as if it's not already self-destructing in front of our very eyes. Now, here's one part from that Axios story where it sounds like Florida Mike Rogers is correct. AIPAC's ads backfired here in Michigan and provided Dr. Abdul with a foil to point to and say, you know what's wrong with our political system? Right there, AIPAC. Now, of course, Florida Mike still wants the AIPAC cash and wants to direct its donors to give to a pro-Rogers super PAC, but you see, AIPAC ain't happy with that one bit, and it's not happy with the Rogers campaign. So you see, Dr. Abdul El-Sayed's reading of where the majority of working-class Michiganders sit on this issue of AIPAC and Israel's corrupt and genocidal government has been right on the button all along. He's with the mainstream. AIPAC and Florida Mike Rogers are the extreme. And that's putting Florida Mike Rogers and MAGA Michigan Republicans on the defensive. Wow, what a concept. A Democrat putting a MAGA Republican on defense. Isn't that a welcome sight to see for a change? leftoflansing@gmail.com is the best way to reach me. Subscribe to the podcast and also subscribe to Left of Lansing on YouTube. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, the Gram, and Facebook. Take the battle to them.